So good evening, my dear friends. We are come here to I.E.L.T.S, International English Level Testing System, uh, Toefl test on English as foreign language, writing and speaking skill development course, Lingua Forum essays. We have taken these essays from DreamTech publications. We have come here to the video number 57. So in IELTS, in writing task, you have to write almost about 250 to 260 words, and if you get a topic, you have to speak for 2 minutes continuously, logically, with a good vocabulary, and the presentation of your ideas should be excellent with examples and reasons. So you may get a question like this: agree or disagree type questions, debatable topics. Here the topic here, some people, not every people, some people. So some people prefer means what? When two are there, you have to choose one. When two nouns are there, two things are there, you are choosing one. Some people prefer learning. Some people prefer learning from a teacher. Some people prefer learning from a teacher. You call him a teacher, you call him a master, you call him a professor, you call him a guru. What's the difference between teacher, professor, guru and lecturer and all those things? Almost all are synonyms, isn't it? Okay. Some people prefer learning from a teacher. A person who teaches is called a teacher. Whereas some other people prefer to learn by themselves. So they think it's not a teacher is not necessary for them. So they can learn by themselves. Which method do you think is better? Learning under a teacher or learning by your own self? Which is better? Of course, it is something subjective, isn't it? Relative. It depends upon person. So you can go for either this or that. Use specific examples, particular examples and reasons. You have to say the reasons why you are supporting this topic or why you are against this topic in your explanation. Hope you are able to understand. Learning under a teacher is fine, or learning by yourself. Teacher is not necessary. So this is the topic. So in the introduction, you see what's it given. Introduction almost he has written in almost 5 to 6 lines. Nearly 60 to 70 words are there. Just go through this. Teachers are important to learning. He starts the essay with saying that teachers are important to learning. For learning, teachers are important, he says. And of course, he's making sure a good teacher is invaluable. He says the teacher is invaluable. You cannot compare him with anything. Invaluable. Still, now he starts. Now he comes for the contradiction. Still, after basic education is completed, maybe after your 12th stand, after your degree, okay, BSc, your basic education is completed, much of learning, whatever you learn, is best conducted on one's own. So you have to learn by your own, outside a classroom environment. So it should be outside the class environment. So he says basic education should be provided by a teacher. A good teacher is an invaluable asset. So basic education should be learned by the teacher, from the teacher. And once you finish the basic education, other things you have to learn by your own. This is what he says. Next, that way one can study in one's own time. So according to your time convenience, you can learn at one's own pace. Pace means speed. According to your speed, according to your, you can learn faster, you can learn slowly. And coming here, and fashion the curriculum. What do you mean by curriculum? The academic syllabus. You can arrange the syllabus. According to that, you can go to suit one's own interest, according to your own interest, right? Okay, coming here. Needs and schedule. Schedule means what? All the programs which you can arrange yourself. Okay. Such self-instruction has many advantages over learning. So it has many advantages over learning from a teacher. So he says self-learning is better than learning under a teacher. Of course, basic education is a must. Then after that, according to your own pace, according to your convenience, according to your needs, according to your curriculum. According to your needs, you can set your curriculums. So this is what he says in the first paragraph. Then coming here to the main ideas is the introduction part. Here he says, first, many teachers simply are not good. Many teachers are simply not good. So it's a debatable point. You can go either for this or not. So he says, first, many teachers simply are not good. Majority of teachers are not good. That's what he says. They may not know the subject they are teaching. Maths or physics or chemistry or MBA, business administration. The teachers are not good. They are not competent enough for teaching. They may have poor teaching skill and personalities. So teaching is a skill. You may be a good, knowledgeable teacher, but when it comes to teaching as a skill, he is a bad teacher. And personalities means what is inner values, maybe not good. Totally unsuited for teaching. So teaching is something in art. Teaching is something, for a student, everything is a teacher. So a quality of a teacher is something different. So many teachers are not skillful. Many teachers are not competent. Many teachers, they don't know about the subject. Many teachers, they don't have the skill in teaching. They may be knowledgeable. That's what he says. For these reasons, their instruction may have completely the opposite of the result desired. So the teachers, when they teach, it may give opposite reaction. The students may not get involved. The student may not get interested. Then coming here, these so-called teachers may communicate nothing of value to the students. So these type of teachers, the value is nothing. The students are not learning anything much. So he says many teachers, not some teachers. He says the majority of the teachers. That's what he says. And coming here to the third paragraph, he says also learning on one's own may allow the learner to create an optimum regime for learning. So a learner who wants to learn something new, he can set up his own time frame. A case in point involved. So he says an example, a case in point. A case in point means what? An example involved Enrico Fermi. Enrico Fermi is a person, okay, the famous Italian physicist. He is a famous Italian physicist. When he started to learn a new language, so this gentleman, Enrico Fermi, he wants to learn a new language, and this gentleman is an Italian physicist. He would read novels in that language. So whenever he wants to learn a language, he will read novels, fictitious novels, with the help of a dictionary. So he takes the help of a dictionary. He learned English. English is an international language. So he, being an Italian, a physicist, he was learning English in part by reading how Arthur Conan Doyle's novels. So by reading Arthur Conan Doyle's novels about Sherlock Holmes. You know about Sherlock Holmes, the novel. So Arthur Conan Doyle's novel about Sherlock Holmes he has read. Then coming here, The Hound of Baskervilles. The Hound of Baskervilles. After reading several books in English this way, Fermi had taught himself the language. So how did Fermi learn this language? By making himself regimentally a time frame he has set up. He went on his own pace. He was reading novels. With the help of dictionary, he was able to master a language. So there isn't a teacher involved here. There wasn't a teacher. It is his own self-instruction. So coming here to the final conclusion, Fermi's approach to self-teaching. Self-teaching. What do you mean by self-teaching? You are teaching yourself. May have been unusual. It is not usual. It is something different. But it worked. But this method worked. Thus it illustrates, it tells. Illustrates means it tells the effectiveness of self-instruction. What do you mean by self-instruction? You are instructing, you are giving instruction. There is no teacher. Teacher instruction is there. Teacher says something you to do the homework and come, you do the homework. Here self-instruction, you are the teacher for your own self. So two persons are involved, you as a teacher, you as a learner. So student and learner both are inside, no outsider is there. So it's a self-instruction. A person capable of learning, a person who is capable of learning, who has the ability to learn and motivated to learn, is highly motivated. Motivated to learn means what? See, you people are coming here for I.E.L.T.S. Each one want to go abroad. You have to write this academic or general examination. You want to get a very good score. So, you are motivated because this is the mark which gives you an admission in a foreign university. It gives you a job in a foreign market. So, it is motivated to learn. You are motivated to learn. Probably will perform as well under self-instruction. Self-instruction as under the guidance of a teacher. So, guidance of a teacher means what? See, I'm a teacher over here. I teach you I.E.L.T.S. There are many people who learn by their own self-instruction. So here, who may not be competent to teach. Of course, one of the students has come here. She has joined somewhere. She's of course not satisfied over there teaching. She has come here. So the teacher may not be competent according to her. According to somebody, I may not be competent. So it depends upon the persons and depends upon the understanding the understanding between the teacher and the student. So this is not to say that all instructors are unskilled. So once again he says it doesn't mean that all the teachers are unskilled, nor that visits to a library are completely satisfactory. So he says self-learning is, we cannot say it is 100% perfect, or learning under a teacher is also 100% perfect. So he says substitute for formal education. So going to a library and self-instruction is a substitute for a formal education. He says is not coming to that point. Some instruction in a classroom. In a classroom, some instruction is going on. Setting is desirable. It is very much needed. Classroom teaching is very much needed for certain cases. If not absolute necessary, it is very much necessary for 10th standard, 12th standard, basic, or you want to go in for MS, MBBS. After finishing your MS, you need a teacher to teach you how the operation to be conducted. Or you do your MS in what is that? In computer science, you need a specialized teacher. You cannot learn by your own. So classroom teaching is a must, absolutely necessary. If not absolute necessary, he also says. So much of education, however, can be and perhaps is best conducted on one's own. So after saying all these things, the writer says, what is that? The student should learn by himself, by his own self. So learning by himself is best. That's what he says. So my dear friends, as you see, you have to read the question properly. Some people prefer learning under a teacher. Some people prefer learning by their own self. So what is your point of view? You should say with the reasons and examples. So he says in the first paragraph, he says about yes, self-learning is best. Then he says with an example like the teachers are not skillful. Then he says the point of Fermi, Enrico Fermi. His name is Enrico Fermi. He is an Italian physicist. He learned English by reading novels using a dictionary. Then finally he comes to point that it is not that teachers are not skillful. It is not that self-learning is a substitute for formal education. He says that's also necessary, but still self-learning is best, he says. So once again he says in the introduction part, for your basic education it is a must that you have to undergo training under a teacher, maybe up to BA or BE. Then after that it is all your self-interest. That's the most important. Self-instruction, self-motivated and self-involvement. So according to that you can set the pace and you can learn. So my dear friends, hope you are able to understand. Now I request one by one to come forward and add your views about this topic, and if you get a topic like this, how you are going to conduct yourself in speaking class. Could you introduce yourself?
My name is Jubia.
Yes, Jubia. When are you going to write your exams?
On the last of October.
Which country are you planning to go?
I'm planning to go to New Zealand.
Okay, you're a professional nurse by profession.
Yeah, I'm a nurse.
Okay, you're going to do your, what's the studies you're going to do?
Studies.
What studies?
Like it's an infection control study.
Okay, fine. If you get a topic like this, how you're going to perform?
It's told like some people they learn they learn by their own. They does not need a teacher. So I'm against this topic. I'll say that for each and every person there should be a teacher to guide them. As you know, there's from when we are a small child, his first teacher is his parents. They teach them that what is good and what is bad. So as he grows up, he moves to the classes, the schools. There he studies about the studies many things that his teachers guides him, and he and they teach more nicely than their parents. And the teachers, they find out the weaknesses of each students and they provide guidance, and they try to improve in that particular task in which the child is weak. So as far as we know that in each and every aspect, if you'll go, teachers are they are more skilled, they are knowledgeable, they know they have a skill in particular task, and also that's why they will teach us better than ourselves. If we will try to study by our own efforts, it will be it's to some extent it will be okay, but we will take more time to study for that particular subject. If there is a person to guide us and to teach us in his manner or the manner which we are more comfortable, then we will be studying more quickly, and we will be more eagerly we will be learning. If there is a guider or a person who will teach us the necessary tasks, and also a teacher is very necessary. I will say that if certain examples, like if we take in any aspects, like if a doctor, if they he can't go directly and do the operation or do directly. First he will go to a hospital, he will be guiding under a well trained doctor. So he will be a trainer and he will be study what all the things which he has to do and which he don't have to do. So without the well trained doctor, he can't do his job very successfully. So for doing a job successfully, for studying successfully, we need a guider. That is, a teacher is must. Thank you.
Good question. As a better performance. Why not? Why not you come, Mr. Tyag Muni? Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. This is Tyag Muni.
So when is your exams?
My exam is on December 13th.
You're going for academic or general?
General.
Okay, if you get a topic like this, what you're going to present?
Some people prefer learning from a teacher, whereas other people prefer to learn by themselves. Learning by a teacher or learning by one's own, there is a significant difference between these two approaches. If you could see some people learning by their own, they find it difficult in terms of understanding the subject, and they may leave it off the way. But if it is in the proper channel, that is through a teacher, then a difference between the people who opt for learning by their own and the people who go for a teacher. As we all know, for each and every stage in our life, there is a teacher behind us, knowingly or unknowingly. There is a teacher behind us. In the childhood stage, there are our parents, and during our school days, obviously there will be teachers in our school, and also during the college days, and during our higher educations, there are guides to guide us. So if if an individual is trying to learn by his own, and if he is stuck up in the middle of something, then he may be left with that, he may be left in that position. But if an individual is undergoing a course or learning a subject with the guidance of a teacher, then there is less possibility for him to uh, leave the subject in of the way. So and also the most important factor is time consuming. Um for a for an individual under the guidance of a teacher, for him to understand a subject, it is the time consuming is very less. And for an individual who is going by his own, it is very difficult for him to finish it within the time limit. And yes, it is a highly time consuming process. And the next one is for the normal cold or headache or whatever it is, but there is a professional for treating all those health related issues. And for people who are in the sports, they might be experts in what they are, but there is a person called coach to help them, to make them sharper enough in that profession. I cannot say that all the teachers are good, but predominantly most of the teachers are skilled enough. That is why they are called teachers. And also I may not say that most of the individuals who learn, all the individuals who learn by their own will fail. Most of them may fail just because of the lack of understanding, or understanding it in a different way. So in each and every stage of our life, there is a teacher knowingly or unknowingly supporting us. So teacher is must for knowing a subject.
Good. I request Mr. Taman to come forward. Okay. So, which country are you planning to go?
Actually, I was planning for Australia.
So, what examination you are going to do? Academic or general?
Academic.
Okay. What are you planning to? What studies are you going to do?
Actually, I was looking for M.Tech.
No. What studies are you going? You're going for studies, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are the studies you are going to do?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about this topic? And if you get a topic like this, how you are going to present yourself?
Okay. My name is Toefl Tamang, and today we got the topic is like learning from teacher or by themselves. Which one is better? I think teacher is the most important. I think they are the foundation. Because of them, we learn many things. Like without foundation, the things, like without foundation, nothing can be like a very important thing, because they are the main foundation. But some other cases, there are some other teachers, they don't know how to guide the students. Meanwhile, you have to take the alternative way. So if the teachers are not good, you have to go through by yourself. We can see over here that Enrico Fermi, the famous Italian physicians, he also is another Englishman, and that English is not his mother language. So what he did means he gone through his own way. So we can see that we can do best ourselves also, but only thing we need is dedication and motivations. I think these are the most important things. So when the teachers are not good over there, you have to go through alternative way. But I'm not saying teachers are not good, but teachers are good, but they are the main foundations. Without them, it's hard to stop ourselves also. Thank you very much.
Ms. Anu to come forward. So, which country are you planning to go?
Canada.
Canada. What is the examination you are going to do? Academic or general?
General.
Okay. If you get a topic like this, what you are going to do? What are you going to speak?
Good evening. I agree the topic we learn on basic. because some of the teachers are not guide properly, because they're thinking about not properly, because that they not at all understand the children mind, how they will pick up the studies. Some children are quickly and easily understand everything about studies or games, etc. Some children are very slow learner. Both he or she are some slow only, they will pick up the studies, but teachers are not at all think about the children mind. They're told write this exam, or they write this test, you want to prepare this test tomorrow, but they can't able to understand. They will just by heart and wrote the test. It's not it's not good for her studies, because after long time they will not have in mind, at that present time they will write the test. After some time, some days, he forgot everything. For example, I have one my friend, she is very studied very well, but in a 10th public exam they started for a tuition, because she want to score high mark. For that responsibility, their parents get a tuition. She went for a tuition. In 10th we have a 5 subject: English, science, maths, social science, Tamil, like 5 subject. In school also we learning that subjects. In school itself they started test 5 subject, 1 day test. At tuition also they started test, every test. That on that time, every test she can't able to prepare for all the test. Some of the test only there is she can able to prepare. One person routine different types of test subjects, she cannot able to understand, she cannot able to go through everything on one day itself. So on the end of the exam, she failed. For what reason? The parents are forcing to study, and they're telling to get score high marks. The in a school, in our school, teachers are concentrating on our own subject. You want to get this high score in social, you want to get science in this science in high marks. There also 5 teachers are forcing the children to get a high score. In tuition also, you want to get a high score. Don't force the children to get high mark. Don't give a lot of pressure, and they will get, after sometimes they will get a lot of depression. It makes the children not at all concentrate the subject. After some of the period, the children are not love the subjects and not love the studies. So teacher want to guide the children, understand our mind setup and children outcoming. Thank you.
Good. I request you to, okay. Good. Miss Babita, could you introduce yourself?
My name is Babita.
What's your qualification, Babita?
My qualification is PhD.
PhD. Doctorate in what subject?
Inorganic chemistry.
Which university are you from?
Madras University.
So which country are you planning to go?
America.
For further studies. Okay. Could you tell about this topic? When you get a topic like this, teachers, you being a PhD scholar, you must be knowing the importance of teacher. Is it the teacher necessary, or self-studies is important? Which do you prefer? Yes, you can say to the audience.
My topic is some people prefer learning from a teacher, whereas other people prefer to learn by themselves. Nowadays, teacher is very useful for the students. Why? Because they learn easily to the subject and then identify the some other ideas. So these things they based on the teachers. For example, some other students, they sit own language and then sit effort on the home or hostel, they get some idea for, they didn't get an idea for him, for her. Why? Because the teacher they tell the subject means they easily understood. Nowadays teacher some other teacher is not good for skills and knowledge. So students they didn't understand the subject, so that's why they sit and learn to the home or hostel. So some other guidance they need for the students. So nowadays the teacher is not guide properly. That's why the some other homes are they conduct the home tuitions, and some other they conduct the parents or subject knowledge. So in my point of view, teacher is more important for in nowadays.
Done, but slowly you have to gradually increase. So you have learnt all the subjects in your mother tongue, Tamil, isn't it? Tamil medium. So it takes some time. As you keep on practicing, you will develop your English communication. Yes, sir. Okay. Dear friends, we have come here for I.E.L.T.S and Toefl. Writing and speaking, எழுதுவது பேசுவது, இந்த பயிற்சிகள் இது லிங்குவா ஃபாரம் என்ற கட்டுரை தொகுப்பிலிருந்து ட்ரீம் டெக் அச்சகத்தின் மூலமாக வீடியோ நம்பர் 57, தலைப்பு 57க்கு வந்திருக்கிறோம். I.E.L.T.S இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் இங்கிலீஷ் லெவல் டெஸ்டிங் சிஸ்டம். சர்வதேச அளவிலே ஆங்கிலத்திலே நீ என்ன புலமை பெற்று இருக்கிறாய்? 191 நாடுகள், 94 நாடுகள் இருக்கிறது. உலக அளவிலே ஆங்கில தரத்திலே எந்த மதிப்பெண் பெறுகிறாய் என்று நடத்தக்கூடிய பிரிட்டிஷ் ஓரியன்ட் பரீட்சை, Toefl அமெரிக்கன் ஓரியன்ட் பரீட்சை. அங்கே எழுத்து பயிற்சியும் பேச்சு பயிற்சியும் வாசிக்கக்கூடிய பயிற்சியும் கேட்கக்கூடிய பயிற்சிகளையும் நடத்துவார்கள். அதில் மதிப்பெண்கள் வழங்குவார்கள். ஸோ I.E.L.T.S எழுதுவதில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 250 வேர்ட்ஸ், 250 வார்த்தைகள் நீங்கள் ஒரு கட்டுரை எழுத வேண்டும், அல்லது 2 நிமிடங்கள் தொடர்ச்சியாக நீங்கள் பேச வேண்டும். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி அக்ரி ஆர் டிஸ்அக்ரி கொஸ்டின், ஏற்றுக்கொள்கிறாயா ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள மாட்டாயா என்று சொல்லி ஒரு தலைப்பை கொடுப்பார்கள். அந்த தலைப்பின் சார்பாக நீங்கள் பேசலாம், அந்த தலைப்பின் எதிராக நீங்கள் பேசலாம். ஆனால் ஆதரவாக பேசும் பொழுதும் எதிராக பேசும் பொழுதும் உதாரணங்களை நீங்கள் வழங்க வேண்டும், அதனுடைய காரணங்களை நீங்கள் வழங்க வேண்டும். ஏன் அந்த தலைப்பின் சார்பாக நீங்கள் பேசுகிறீர்கள், ஏன் அந்த தலைப்பின் எதிராக நீங்கள் போகிறீர்கள் என்று சொல்ல வேண்டும். இங்கே தலைப்பில் பார்த்தீர்கள் என்றால் சம் பீப்புள்னா சில மக்கள், அநேக மக்கள் இல்லை, சில மக்கள். சம் பீப்புள் ப்ரிஃபர் என்றால் என்ன? இப்போ ரெண்டெண்ணம் இருக்கிறது, காஃபி டீ இருக்கிறது, ரெண்டில் ஏதோ ஒன்று என்று வரும்பொழுது ப்ரிஃபர் என்ற வார்த்தையை பயன்படுத்துகிறாய். சம் பீப்புள் ப்ரிஃபர், சில மக்கள் விரும்புகிறார்கள். லேர்னிங் ஃப்ரம் எ டீச்சர், ஆசிரியரிடமிருந்து கற்றுக்கொண்டால் தான் கற்றுக்கொள்ள முடியும் என்று ஒரு சிலர் நம்புகிறார்கள். வேரஸ், ஆனால் அதர் பீப்புள், அதிக மக்கள், மற்ற மக்கள் ப்ரிஃபர் டு லேர்ன் பை தெம்செல்ஃப், தாங்களே கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்று நினைக்கிறார்கள். ஸோ பள்ளி படிப்பு குறைந்த காலம், கல்லூரி படிப்பு குறைந்த காலம், அதற்கு அடுத்ததாக வாழ்க்கையிலே கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டியது ஏகப்பட்டது இருக்கிறது, அது தனியாகத்தான் கற்றுக்கொள்ள முடியும் என்று சொல்கிறார்கள். விச் மெத்தட், எந்த வழிமுறை, டூ யூ திங்க் இஸ் பெட்டர்? ஆசிரியரிடம் கற்றுக்கொள்வது சிறந்ததா, இல்லை தானாக வாழ்க்கையிலே படிப்பது, வாழ்க்கை படிப்பு நாமவே அறிந்து கொள்வது முக்கியமா? எது சிறந்தது? யூஸ் ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ், குறிப்பிட்ட உதாரணங்களை வழங்க வேண்டும். அண்ட் ரீசன்ஸ், காரணங்களை வழங்க வேண்டும். இன் யுவர் எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன், நீங்கள் விளக்கக்கூடிய விளக்கங்களுக்கு இந்த காரணங்களையும் உதாரணங்களையும் வழங்க வேண்டும். என்ன? ஆசிரியரிடம் பாடம் கற்பது நல்லதா, அல்லது நீயாக சொந்தமாக கற்பது நல்லதா? ஸோ இந்த முதல் பத்தியில் பாருங்கள், எப்பொழுதும் முன்னுரை என்று இருக்க வேண்டும். அந்த முன்னுரையில் கிளியராக நீங்கள் சொல்ல வேண்டும் எதன் சார்பாக நீங்கள் இருக்கிறீர்கள் என்று. டீச்சர்ஸ் ஆர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் டு லேர்னிங். முதல் வாக்கியத்திலே பாருங்க, ஆசிரியர்கள் தான் மிக முக்கியமானவர்களாக கருதப்படுகிறார்கள் கற்பதற்கு. அண்ட் ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ் எ குட் டீச்சர் இஸ் இன்வேல்யூபிள். அப்போ ஒரு நல்ல ஆசிரியர் என்பவன் மதிப்பு எடை போட முடியாத, மதிப்பற்ற, விலை அதிகமுடைய ஒரு மிகுந்த உயர்ந்த மனிதன் என்று சொல்கிறார்கள். ஸ்டில் இருந்தும் இப்பொழுது தான் ஆரம்பிக்கிறார். ஆஃப்டர் பேசிக் எஜுகேஷன் இஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்டட். பேசிக் எஜுகேஷன் என்றால் என்னன்னு நீங்கள் பார்க்கும் பொழுது 10th அல்லது 12th அல்லது பிஇ இதெல்லாம் பேசிக் எஜுகேஷன். இது முடித்தவுடன் இஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்டட். மச் ஆஃப் லேர்னிங் இஸ் பெஸ்ட் கண்டக்டட் ஆன் ஒன்ஸ் ஓன். அதற்கு மேலாக படிக்கக்கூடிய நிறைய படிப்புகளை நாம சொந்த முயற்சி எடுத்து படித்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். அவுட்சைட் ஏ கிளாஸ் ரூம் என்விரான்மெண்ட். அப்போ வகுப்பறை சூழ்நிலைக்கு வெளியே நாம் கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும் சொந்தமாக. தட் வே ஒன் கேன் ஸ்டடி இன் ஒன்ஸ் ஓன் டைம். இப்படியாக ஒருவன் அவனுக்குள்ள நேரத்திற்கு தகுந்தபடி படிக்க முடியும். அட் ஒன்ஸ் ஓன் பேஸ். அவன் தனக்குரிய வேகத்துடன் படிக்க முடியும். தட் வே ஒன் கேன் ஸ்டடி அண்ட் ஃபேஷன் த கரிக்குலம். கரிக்குலம் என்றால் என்ன? பாடத்திட்டம், என்னென்ன படிக்க வேண்டும் அதை அவனுடைய வேகத்திலே அவன் கற்றுக்கொள்ள முடியும். டு சூட் ஒன்ஸ் ஓன் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட். ஒருத்தனுடைய ஆர்வம், ஒருத்தனுடைய நீட் தேவைகள், ஒருத்தனுடைய ஸ்கெட்யூல் அவனுடைய அமைப்பு. அப்போ டைம் டேபிள் என்று சொல்கிறோம். அப்போ பேசிக் படிப்பு, அதற்கு அடிப்படை கல்வியை கண்டிப்பாக ஆசிரியர் மூலமாக கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். அதற்கு மேலாக படிக்கக்கூடியது ஒருவன் அவனுடைய தேவைக்கு தகுந்தபடி, அவனுடைய சூழ்நிலைக்கு தகுந்தபடி, அவனுடைய வேகத்துக்கு தகுந்தபடி, அவனுடைய அட்டவணைக்கு தகுந்தபடி அவனாகவே படிக்க வேண்டும் என்று சொல்கிறார். சச் செல்ஃப் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன். செல்ஃப் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் என்றால் என்ன? தானாகவே வலியுறுத்தி படிப்பது. இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன்னா இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டர்னா டீச்சர், ஆசிரியர் தான் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்ணுவார். இங்கே செல்ஃப் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் என்று சொல்லும் பொழுது தானாகவே தனக்கே ஒரு என்ன செய்ய வேண்டும் என்று சொல்வது. ஹேஸ் மெனி அட்வான்டேஜஸ் ஓவர் லேர்னிங் ஃப்ரம் ஏ டீச்சர். ஸோ இது தானாகவே முன்வந்து படிப்பது ஆசிரியரிடம் படிப்பதை விட சிறந்தது என்று சொல்கிறார். ஸோ இந்த தலைப்பில் என்ன சொல்கிறார் முன்னுரையில்? நாமவே படிக்க வேண்டும், ஆசிரியரிடம் படிப்பது ஒன்றும் பெரிய விஷயம் கிடையாது என்று சொல்கிறார். ஃபர்ஸ்ட், மெனி டீச்சர்ஸ் சிம்ப்ளி ஆர் நாட் குட். சில ஆசிரியர்கள் நன்றாக இல்லை என்று சொல்கிறார். தே மே நாட் நோ த சப்ஜெக்ட் தே ஆர் டீச்சிங். அவர்கள் எடுக்கக்கூடிய பாடத்தை பற்றி அவர்கள் அறியாதவர்களாக இருக்கிறார்கள். தே மே ஹேவ் புவர் டீச்சிங் ஸ்கில். பாடம் எடுக்கக்கூடிய திறன் குறைவாக இருக்கிறது. அண்ட் பர்சனாலிட்டி இஸ் டோட்டலி அன்சூட்டட் ஃபார் டீச்சிங். அவர்களுடைய அந்த பர்சனாலிட்டி, அந்த ஆசிரியர் வேலைக்கே தகுதியற்றவர்களாக இருக்கிறார்கள். ஃபார் தீஸ் ரீசன்ஸ், இந்த காரணத்தினால் their instruction may have completely the opposite of the ரிசல்ட் டிசைட். அப்போ பாடம் கற்றுக்கொள்ள கொடுக்க வேண்டும் என்று நினைக்கிறார்கள், மாணவர்கள் கற்றுக்கொள்ள முடியவில்லை. ஏனென்றால் அவர்களுக்கு அந்த ஆசிரியர் சொல்லிக் கொடுக்கக்கூடிய திறன்கள் இல்லாமல் இருக்கிறது. These so-called teachers may communicate nothing of value to the students. இந்த மாதிரி ஆசிரியர்கள் மாணவர்களுக்கு ஒன்றும் சொல்லிக் கொடுக்க முடியாத நிலை ஏற்படுகிறது. அடுத்த பேராகிராஃப் பாருங்க. Also learning on one's own way allow the learner to create an optimum regime for learning. ஒருவன் தானாக கற்றுக்கொள்ளும் பொழுது அவனுக்கு தடையாக அந்த அம்ச முறையிலே படிப்பான். A case in point, உதாரணமாக என்ரிகோ ஃபெர்மி, the famous Italian physicist. என்ரிகோ ஃபெர்மி என்ற மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு மருத்துவர், when he started to learn a new language, புதிய மொழி கற்றுக்கொள்ளும் பொழுது he would read novels in that language with the help of a dictionary. புதிய மொழி கற்றுக்கொள்ளும் போது நாவல்கள் நிறையாக படிப்பார், கூட அகராதியை வைத்துக் கொள்வார். He learned English in part by reading Arthur Conan Doyle's novel about Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes என்பதை பற்றி அவர் ஒரு நாவலை படித்தார். So the Hound of Baskervilles, after reading several books in English, this way Fermi had taught himself the language. பல மொழி நாவல்களை படிப்பதன் மூலமாக பல மொழிகளை அவர் கற்றுக்கொண்டார். ஸோ ஆங்கிலத்தை கற்றுக்கொண்டார். அடுத்தது, Fermi's approach to self-teaching may have been unusual. Fermi கற்றுக்கொள்வது வித்தியாசமாக இருக்கலாம், but it worked. ஆனால் அது வேலை செய்தது. Thus it illustrates, அது சொல்கிறது, the effectiveness of self-instruction. நமக்கு நாமே கட்டளையிட்டு படித்துக் கொள்வது. A person capable of learning and motivated to learn probably will perform as well under self-instruction as under the guidance of a teacher. ஒருவன் தானாகவே முன்னேற வேண்டும், தானாகவே கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்று நினைக்கக்கூடியவன் சுயமாக தானாகவே கற்றுக்கொள்வான். அவனுக்கு ஆசிரியர் தேவையில்லை. Who may not be competent to teach. This is not to say that all instructors are unskilled. இதனால் அனைத்து ஆசிரியர்களும் திறமையற்றவர்கள் என்று சொல்வதில்லை. Nor that in visits to a library are a completely satisfactory substitute for formal education. ஒரு நூலகத்துக்கு சென்று படிப்பது ஆசிரியரிடம் கற்பதை விட சிறந்தது என்று சொல்ல முடியாது. சம் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் இன் எ கிளாஸ் ரூம் செட்டிங் இஸ் டிசைரபிள். சில நேரங்களில் வகுப்பறை மூலமாக பாடம் கற்பது நல்லது. இஃப் நாட் அப்சல்யூட் நெசசரி, கண்டிப்பாக தேவை. மச் ஆஃப் எஜுகேஷன் however கேன் பி அண்ட் பெராப்ஸ் இஸ் பெஸ்ட் கண்டக்டட் ஆன் ஒன்ஸ் ஓன். ஸோ நிறைய கல்விகள் தானாகவே கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். ஸோ ஆசிரியரிடம் பாடம் கற்பிப்பது நல்லதா, கற்றுக்கொள்வது நல்லதா, சுயமாகவே நாம கற்றுக்கொள்வது நல்லதா? ஸோ நீங்கள் இப்படியும் சொல்லலாம், ஆசிரியர்கள் தான் சிறந்தவர்கள் என்று. இல்லை, ஆசிரியர்கள் தேவையில்லை, நாம சுயமாக கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும், அதுதான் சிறந்தது என்று சொல்லலாம். ஸோ உதாரணங்கள் சொல்லி கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். ஸோ இந்த எழுத்தாளர் என்ன சொல்கிறார்? அடிப்படை கல்விக்கு ஆசிரியர் தேவை, அதற்கு மேல் நாம சுயமாக கற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டும். ஏனென்றால் ஆசிரியர்கள் திறமையானவர்களாக இல்லை. ஆசிரியர்கள் நாம படிக்கும் பொழுது நம்ம வேகத்திற்கு தகுந்தபடி படிக்கலாம் என்று சொல்கிறார். ஸோ இனி அடுத்து வரக்கூடிய வீடியோவில்